Hello dear viewers and welcome to English News Broadcast. I am Mela Wamkael. These are the top stories. 4 patients who have been receiving medical treatment in Central Region have recovered and discharged from these facilities. Vocational training to youth in Mendefara. Hurricane Ida could cost insurers almost $18 billion damage in US. Iran and France foreign ministers negotiate on Iran sanctions. Announcement from the Ministry of Health. 4 patients who have been receiving medical treatment in hospitals in the Central Region have recovered fully and have been discharged from these facilities. The total number of recovered patients has increased to 6,594, while the number of deaths stands at 38. The total number of confirmed cases in the country to date stands at 6,642. Ministry of Health, Asmara, 2nd September 2021. Vocational training ranging from 3 to 6 months was organized to 296 youth in Mendefara subzone. The theoretical and practical training including motors maintenance, beauty salon, computer technology, as well as traditional and modern dance. According to report, the trainees will be provided interest-free loans with a view to enable them initiate income generation activities with the training they were provided. Speaking at the graduation ceremony conducted on 1st September, Mr. Girmay Gabru, head of the National Union of Eritrean Youth and Students branch in the southern region, called on the trainees to practically develop their skills and transfer the knowledge they received to their peers. Mr. Saleh Ahmedin, chairman of the National Union of Eritrean Youth and Students, on his part called on the trainees to increase their productivity and improve their livelihoods. The Forestry and Wildlife Authority reported that with the greening campaign conducted in the Central Region since 7 July, over 70,000 tree seedlings have been planted and about 100 meters of terraces constructed. Mr. Mikael Abraham, forestry development expert at the authority, said that 95% of the planted tree seedlings are in the good condition. According to Mr. Mikael, over 90 government institutions, ex-fighters, cooperative associations, PFDJ organizations, as well as students' summer work program are practicing in the greening campaign. The greening campaign also includes construction of terraces and water diversion schemes with a view to redress the environment and boost agricultural productivity. And I'll be back with the international news after a short break. Welcome back. Ida pummeled Louisiana with some of the strongest winds to ever hit the United States Gulf Coast, damaging homes, schools, and hospitals. Hurricane Ida, which swept through Louisiana with some of the strongest winds ever to hit the state, knocking out power to millions of homes and businesses, is estimated to have caused almost $18 billion in damage that will be covered by insurers, according to one risk modeling firm. It is estimated that the bulk of the insured losses occurred in the U.S. with just $40 million of covered damage in the Caribbean. The estimate includes privately insured damage to vehicles, houses, and commercial and industrial properties, but does not include boats, offshore properties of National Flood Insurance Program losses. Ida pummeled Louisiana with maximum sustained winds of 240 kilometers per hour when it made landfall in the U.S. near Port Forcone, Louisiana, according to reports. Those winds took down trees and power lines and damaged schools, hospitals, and other buildings, including complete roof and wall collapses in some cases. Analysts had said earlier they expected insured damages to range from $15 billion to $20 billion. Iranian Foreign Minister Hossein Amir-Abdollahian called for Europe's constructive act to protect Iran's nuclear interests, which were harmed after Washington's unilateral withdrawal from the 2015 nuclear deal, according to reports on Thursday. The illegal U.S. measures in 2018 to exit from the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action and reimpose sanctions on Iran, as well as European countries in action in this regard, are responsible for the current unfavorable situation, Amir-Abdollahian said in a telephone conversation with his French counterpart, Jean-Yves Le Drian, yesterday. Unfortunately, the current U.S. government has continued to use sanctions as a tool to put pressure on Iran, he said. According to the report, the Iranian foreign minister said that U.S. should know Iran does not surrender in the face of such pressures, urging Europe's constructive role by adopting tactful positions in the area. And now we remind you the top stories. Four patients who have been receiving medical treatments in the central region have recovered and discharged. Vocational training to youth in Mendefera. Hurricane Ida could cost insurers almost $18 billion damage in U.S. Iran and France foreign ministers negotiate on Iran sanctions. That was all for today's news. Thank you for watching.